Welcome to All About the Game podcast in association with Clinched. You can download our podcast on all platforms every Friday. Clinched is a sports app that helps link clubs with coaches. If you were a coach in rugby, soccer or GAA and you are ready for your next role or your first role, download and sign up to Clinched app for free today.
And Leinster looking to counter here. Seán O'Brien, well, if there's one player who can take a hit from Courtney Laws and stand and see it off and bounce off.
Raised thanks to the accurate free-taking of John Doyle. 2 points between the teams.
Football is hurling, and maybe in that moment should have slipped out very to go have a conversation and say, I want to make that decision, but it ultimately comes down to them.
Hello, and you're very welcome back to All About the Game podcast in association with Clinched for episode 26, lads. We're flying it. I'm joined by Johnny Dyle and Seán O'Brien. How are we, men?
All good, Podge, yeah, all good. Getting ready to batten down for the storm, Amy. So we'll see. Seán will be more worried than me. I said there's sheds under pressure and all that goes with it.
No sheds under pressure now, boys. Meant to put in maize yesterday and I had the silage cover pulled out over the walls and I had to go get silage bales and put it down on top of it in case it blows away. But no health and safety around here today, is there?
No.
After arriving here now and it's getting nasty outside.
It is, yeah. Or is it the tail end of it?
I don't know. I should look at it'll be all over before we know. Once the light stays going, I don't mind.
Yeah.
So we're all good, Podge.
Good stuff. Week went well. I suppose, Johnny, we haven't been talking to you since the big win with good to stay up and came on and played your part as well.
Yeah, I know it was good. It was good to stay up. You know, you always want to be playing at the highest level, and I suppose the results didn't go well all year. And even though we played some really good football, we just couldn't get over the line.
Yeah,
and
winning.
It's sort of a habit, you get into losing habit as well. But yeah, it just gives everything a bit of a lift, you know. When it was a big game, and so we needed a big performance, and we just got enough and to get over the line. So happy enough
with your contribution.
Well, I was
Heard
very
you
happy.
were jogging up and down beside the manager.
Yeah, like an under 10.
Make sure
pick
he
me, yeah. Or saying, God, he's going first bad. How are we looking at him? But we met for obviously after match down to Glennon's for a few drinks and got a couple of claps in the back. Delighted with myself and went down to a friend of mine. He says, I don't know about all these claps in the back. And I said, sure, look at. And he says, as I saw, you got 2 kicks at it. So your own bring you down to earth fairly quick. So, but no, happy out, Podge. Good week. Good week for the wood.
We didn't mention it. We were talking about you for 10 or 15 minutes before we went on last week. We never mentioned it. I know. Good how we go on. And especially, I suppose, when you look to get up against it, I thought at half time. I actually left at half time, went for dinner. I said, I think Albert called me back. But anyway.
Thanks for your support.
I was very much appreciated. I was going for dinner.
No, you didn't. You looked on and said, look at this old lad coming on. Yeah, come on,
really
get out here.
Now this lad coming on, yeah. Good win, Seány. Much happening. You're on a break still anyway. Enjoy your week off. Busy on the farm,
yeah. No, I was back in this week with so all the Lions lads and some of the international lads, they're still training away.
Alright.
So
it's a kind of guess if they already had their break. So
they've had their break, yeah, and then this is their third week now. So some of those lads will play next week. So they'll have 4 weeks of training done by the time to play a game. So they're in tomorrow again, and then they're off for the weekend. And obviously the lads in South Africa went down badly last week.
Yeah,
so.
That was just a bit of a kind of.
Yeah, it was very poor, to be fair. 35-0, like it's one of the biggest defeats we've had since 2008. Munster 2008.
Yeah, they did
18-0
or something like that.
Yeah. So hopefully we see a bit more of a reaction from them this week. It's a young team, obviously, but there's a few older lads in there, and it's probably just disappointing the way they went about their business, to be honest. Even though, we had spoke about it before they left, and training that week was good, but physical intent in South Africa just wasn't there at the right level, and the dirty ball and scraps and stuff like that, we just didn't win any of them. I think we had 10 or 11 opportunities on the ground for scraps, and we didn't win one of them.
Right.
So if you don't do that, it kind of shows where you're at a little bit. So hopefully they fixed it up a little bit this week and have a good crack at the Bulls now. But the international lads and the Lions boys,
here then.
They'll come over at halfway through the year. I'm not sure exactly what schedule, but it's the first time ever we've been actually in South Africa at the start of the season.
Yeah,
we've always went at the end, so it'll be nice to have it done. but hopefully we get points out of it, because it's actually been quite important to us at the back end of the year to get a win over there to guarantee, let's say, a home quarter or home semi, etc.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get something out of the game now on Saturday, and everyone, the whole crew, then back together next week, and
not so bad.
Then the serious stuff starts.
Yeah, it's mad how quick it comes around again, isn't it? You think it's just a blink of an eye, and all of a sudden
gets going again.
Before you know it, now you're
in full flow again.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's mad.
So it's been busy. What about you, Podge? You've had a. How was your weekend last weekend?
Not great now. Yeah, I'm on a break now. I'm on holidays.
Tight game though. Tight game.
Yeah. Playing with a win, going 1-8 to a point down, leaving ourselves a bit of a mountain to climb. But yeah, they battled. Got back to a point, maybe 20 minutes to go, and then went 7 down again and a man down, black card, and then battled again and got back to 1 at one stage, and then kind of missed the easiest free when 2 points down with 2 minutes to play, and then kind of had to chase a goal. So yeah, we left ourselves with a bit of a mountain to climb. Had an opportunity then later on. Our corner forward got goal side of long ball in, got goal side of the corner back, and he blew for a free for the corner back, and the corner forward another corner wrestling. So whatever he made of that.
Things didn't go your way anyway.
No, I wouldn't blame that now anyways. No. It wasn't. I don't think anyone would have complained. I don't think the full back said to the corner forward, he says, what was that for? But anyway, yeah, you leave yourself too much of a mountain to climb, unfortunately. But that's the joys of it.
That's the joys, yeah. And it's when you're the banished door bibbing you, it's hard, because feel at times you feel you can't. What can you do? You can only control so much, like, and you know.
I'm sure it's funny, like you were saying last week, Jez, he is fit. Like for the first 20 minutes, you'd swear we hadn't done a training.
I know.
Like so far off it. Got going before half time. Like at the end of the game, another 5 minutes and we're going to win the game. So we were running at them, energy. Played down to 14, played better. Like and it's press the kick outs, winning kick outs, but too little, too late.
Yeah. But it's amazing the way the mind would. Like, how do you go? I mean, we'll see it the next weekend again, and you know somewhere you'll get a team where they'll start very lethargic, and just like that they can go to the extreme opposite.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, why?
And
like,
we probably went for we kind of went out saying, right, let's with a high press.
Yeah.
But we were so sloppy in giving balls away, and then you get caught. You know, counter attacks, concede a handy score, being so sloppy. And then when we tidied that up and killed the ball dead, we tried to target.
And then you see
kick their kick outs then to press up. But when we done it well. But you said,
but you see. Then becomes we got the tactics wrong. Not necessarily. If you keep giving away the ball,
it doesn't matter what you do.
It doesn't matter what tactics it is. You have to get the basics.
Yeah.
The
basics have to be there every time.
But it's the same what you just mentioned. You're like the basics of the year game was just win the scraps, the non-talented stuff.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that,
run quick, belt a fella,
exactly.
Yeah, all the things that you don't need skill for.
No, the other stuff will come. Like,
it's
if
probably
you don't bring that to it.
Foundation, I suppose, like the tactics or the video analysis and all, it's all great to do, but if you don't have the other side of it, sure, it doesn't count for nothing. But
if you're giving away the ball,
you have
to mind the ball when you get it.
Look, there's always next year.
There's always next year. But at least you had a bad week. So you're taking me last.
I'm delighted. I had a great week.
So anyways, that's it for this year. But I suppose we're kind of topic this week, money in sport, and something that caught my eye there was this Rugby 360, and so I said, Seán, I'd ask you a bit about it. It seems to be Saudi backed, and we've seen with LIV Golf and a lot about that, and soccer in Saudi Arabia, or even them taking over Newcastle. Now it seems to be kind of creeping into rugby with this, say, Rugby 360. Have you heard much about it? Or
I haven't heard much about it yet. There's been a few whispers about different things, but it'll definitely be a threat to obviously the unions and Six Nations and all that type of thing now, because of the amount of money that the Saudis have, and I think they're the sole funder of it as well. Okay. So there's no one actually affiliated to them, so they can do really what they want. So it'll be up. I think what'll happen is that it'll be up to the unions obviously to go against that and put things in place like what Ireland have at the minute. If you're not playing within the system, that in the Irish system that you're not eligible to play with Ireland. So if the rest of the unions do that, it'll probably keep their best players around. But again,
depends on the carrot.
Depends on the
Money
carrot
talks.
as well. Like if you're getting, God only knows, there's been some stupid figures thrown out there about like even for coaches and stuff. I think they're talking like huge money. So
Well, look, we're open negotiations if they want. If we have to go,
we'll go in as a package, Johnny.
Like if we have to lose you, Seán, we have to lose you. But if the money's right, we let you off.
Well, it is
Mad,
like,
isn't
I
it?
think the Saudis, like, they're trying to. You look at what they're doing now with boxing, even lately, like, you know what I mean? How big it's getting and how much money is involved in it. So they're obviously, they want their slice of pie as well, and they see rugby maybe as an opportunity because of maybe it's not like soccer, obviously, where the Saudis have obviously they're involved in soccer and involved in premiership clubs and all that kind of thing as owners. But rugby probably is a bit different, and the money is so low compared to when you think of like soccer players.
Yes,
or
they can still go on.
then they're thinking, geez, if I give this lad 750,000 or €1 million for a season, sure he'll jump at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. That'll be interesting to see how it all pans out. But I don't think the unions let it happen. To their best players.
Yeah. It's funny.
I hope it doesn't, obviously, because
yeah.
it'll Jesus, God only knows what kind of can of worms it'd open.
I seen that where the rugby unions have kind of said, or kind of early on, that they'll blacklist players who join it. But the first thing I was thinking was then the LIV Golf, and like PGA, like the 4 majors are so important and whatever, and prestige and money. Like,
Well, the golfers are getting a lot more money than the rugby players.
they're
Do
on
you know what I
serious
mean?
money, but they still jump
Serious.
ship for
Yeah.
LIV Golf. Like Henrik Stenson and Brandon Grace were 2 I have wrote down. They had a real drop off because like Brooks Koepka went, I think John Ram went. Like, now at the start they went thinking can't play a PGA Tour, we're going off here to play kind of a made up thing, but loads of money and kind of a different competition. But like, money kind of brings power as well. Now the PGA are in negotiations with LIV for a merger and come together because they're probably in fear of they can't compete money wise.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I think I heard figures of something like 40 million or something for a sign-on fee for some of those top golfers.
Yeah.
Initially, like 40 million.
Yeah.
Like,
Like as
like
much
you're going
as
to play,
say,
even though you're earning money every week, let's say those top end golfers
Yeah.
earning like good money,
Big money.
every week, big money
Yeah.
every week. When you get 40 million for a sign-on fee,
Yeah.
just for talk's sake, I'm not sure if that was
Yeah.
exact
yeah,
figure,
but it's huge.
I
But they
heard
are
it was
getting-
like
that ridiculous,
that scale.
scandalous. Yeah.
So like that's crazy when you think
Yeah.
about it. Like
Yeah.
But you can say, right, and the golfers that didn't go to LIV Golf, they're wealthy men already.
yeah.
Well, you say that to a top French player, top English, they're not in the same scale. Like, they have a lot more to gain even than the Rory McIlroys was getting. It's different gravy altogether. So their jump could be massive, and they might have no choice.
Yeah.
Like, this is a one in a lifetime.
And it's probably even with like
sorry, Podge, and your rugby window to play is a lot shorter than golf.
A lot shorter, and
It's
obviously
an
the
injury
top
and you could be
top
gone.
earners in rugby like are on between 500 and 600.
I was going to say, I was actually thinking about it earlier.
The top now.
Who
I
would be
mean
the
the
mega
top 10.
team like in the world? Who would be the best paying rugby club? Would it be kind
Who
of some
would
of the
be
French
best
clubs?
paying rugby? Oh yeah, some of the French are obviously the best paying, and then you have obviously some of the Japanese clubs pay very well for their marquee
Right.
players, and then
heard
obviously
Dan Carter was.
some of the English players as well, or some of the players in English Premiership clubs as a marquee player. So they're outside the cap. So you could sign, just for talk's sake, let's say Richie McCaw wants to go to Premiership. He'd be down as a marquee player with one other, and a marquee player is outside the salary cap. So you could be paying him, if you agreed 2 million with him,
Right.
it's outside the salary cap of 4.6 or 4.7, whatever it is now, or maybe it's a bit more.
Right.
So that doesn't count. So they're marquee players.
Okay.
So on the other side of that, then, like, who are the best? Who are
And
the
was
marquee?
this a rule that was brought in kind of at a certain time, kind of as in to attract bigger players?
Well, it
or-
was to keep the competition. It was obviously to help clubs financially be able to bring in, I suppose, big crowds, marquee players without actually, killing the club financially, because they're not making any money. So, with this type of thing, if you were to go after marquee players, sure, pick any of the lines really.
Yeah.
They're your marquee players in let's say, the Six Nations. Yeah.
It's
And the top end of them is on, let's say, 500-600 for talk's sake, or 500, let's say, for talk's sake, and these boys come in and they're going
20 million.
So, yeah.
Do you know, it makes sense.
like it's mad. So, but I think the obviously haven't been managed really well. Let's say I'm just talking from the Irish system and stuff, being managed really well and still earning good money, and you know what I mean. That carrot of wanting to play international rugby and the Lions as well. So like if you don't play obviously international rugby, you don't get selected for the Lions in 4 years, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Look, you see it with like soccer as well, and like maybe Jordan Henderson was one player, but they talk about like different players that, say Ivan Toney, like he's probably going to make the England team or start for them, and then he takes a massive contract, like he's Premiership probably top 5 scorers, and takes contract in Saudi. Like they're cashing out, and like maybe on something similar that, right, I know I'm not going to play for England, he'd probably get 100 grand there playing with a top 6 club if he wanted, but he's probably getting 500 grand a week there in Saudi, and it's feck it, I'll take the money. There is lots of, and it's, can't blame people, but like,
I can't really blame
it's easy to say, no, I'd rather, but then they put the two on the table and go, here, I'm off.
It'd be an interesting time for it anyway, but I don't
Any
know
interest
if
now
they
in GA under the Saudis?
They're trying to get 2.5 grand up to 2.5 grand, as I was saying, for the year. But it like, but like I was actually even thinking about that today, like say GA players, it's an like there's nothing, they're never going to be chased by that, like, but you see in so many sports now where like money getting, like that's golf, they say boxing, rugby, soccer, like there is a lot of the sports now where, and I don't know where it's going to end up with the whole Saudi thing, because it's like, it's ridiculous the way they can take the best players. Like I don't know if the Australian rules is probably like a closer knit, it's only in Australia, but I don't know where it'll go.
Well, I did hear this week that 20 something of the England's women's team have signed to it already.
Right.
And I've heard that there's NRL players signing to it.
And sure, the women's rugby team in England are probably getting paid pittance compared, as in, but if they were getting,
they are class now, to be fair. Some of them are ridiculous there at the minute. I watched that game last weekend, the World Cup final, and it was good camp rugby.
I actually missed it.
England won, but like
big Canada, wasn't it?
Yeah,
didn't Canada go out an amateur team or something? And they
had to GoFundMe to get their flights over and stuff. But they're they're a serious outfit. They are going to be very good.
So I was following that a bit.
It'll be interesting to see in the next few weeks. Is there more to follow?
Yeah, no, I will. And
interesting.
There's a lot of people in the union sort of getting a bit worried about it all, I would imagine.
Well, you would be with that type of level that they're talking about. But again, it's all, there's no facts at the minute. But I did hear some of the English women and a few NRL players, top end lads, have signed on with them already. What kind of money they're getting, I haven't a clue.
It's probably could come down to the as you say, the carrot is, well, you can't play Lions and you can't play international, but you can't match the money at the end of it. So that's going to be the big one, and it will be interesting to see, because I actually seen
might lace up my boots again. You'll be able to.
Will be two caddies for you. We go over and shine the shoes for you. No bother.
You're sure to be getting paid enough there to give us 0.01%. He'll never talk to us again if he got it.
No more clinched.
Because it's interesting. I actually even seen the.
I wonder are the Saudis looking for an app that they could sign up these players?
That one made in about 2 minutes. Then
now you're on to it, John.
Hopefully,
might buy out clinched.
Hopefully so. Just I lost my train of thought there. But I was saying about actually the All Australian final that Marquee was on with Wooly Parkinson during the week talking about it. But I suppose first of all, your man Oisin Mullen scored a goal in the for Geelong, the grand final, and Mark O'Connor playing. But it was good to see. Well, they're making it. They're not just. I think there was 2 lads with Adelaide. Conor McKenna maybe one of them. They didn't make the squad, but Mullen really seems to be coming to the fore out there.
They look. It's funny. Like, how long is he over there now? 4 years, is he?
He probably is there.
I think it's 3 or 4 years. But I just seen a picture of him the other day, and I said to myself, "Jeez, he actually really looks like a proper athlete now."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like from the time he went over, like he looked like a footballer.
Yeah.
Now he looks like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's the whole...
Physically, he's developed, obviously. He was young going over or whatever, but...
He seems to be one of the top markers out there, which is probably one of the hardest jobs. And then popped up and scored a goal as well. I think it was the second goal in AFL. But Marquee was on then, and he was just talking about, like, it goes back, like, and it's an amateur sport. But he was saying, like, the Australian players be still, like, scratching their head and going, like, they were saying, why don't the GA players just go on straight, like, just why don't they just do that? And he was saying, oh well, no, but they just can't get their heads around it because they're seeing like Oisin Mullen, Marquee and come over, and it's like, sure, this is like, and they've seen at their own hand when they play. It's never going to be that way. They should. I think, as I said, we spoke about it 2 weeks ago about going from 1,400 to 2,500. That's the least. Like, we were chatting last week and about Kevin Feely was saying, like, about, like, he'd run his practice in the evenings there, or he could do a few matches. Like, you're 100% losing out on stuff. Like, it's not like you're saying it's going professional by giving them $2,500, but, like, I don't know, what did the GA bring in last weekend off the AFL, or was it the AFL, not the
NFL?
Or, but I think it doesn't have to go professional or go that route. But, like,
no, but I suppose the thought is, and there is the thought, you know, from traditionalists, is to look at, there was none of that now then, we are, you know, but then the GA wasn't, like, we're talking about money in sport. The GA is a business now. Croke Park is a business. Like, Peter McKenna, in fairness to him, runs it very well. You know, they don't love Coldplay, or they don't love Oasis. They know they'll get big money for it, and, you know, at the end of the year, Peter McKenna has to show books for Croke Park. This is what we're making as a business. It is a business, and that's
like, I just think if you're giving players a grant, if you're giving players a grant to 1,500, they're getting a grant, so you might as well give them $5,000 and then.
Yeah, but the old way of thinking is, well, where does it stop? You know, there is that thought out there. I'd agree with you. I think the money that it's pittance. Sure, like you mentioned, Kevin. There's Kevin's case of, you know, trying to start up your own business, and others to say, well, look, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But we should be encouraging our best players to play at the highest level they can, because of all the, you know, and you take it, like, if we took the inter-county, both hurling and football, off the table, it affects everything that happens down the club, because some young lads, no different than any other sport, some young lads watching and then goes down and sees, you know, Kevin Feely walking down the town, and I want to be him, and I'm going to practice, and I'm out the back again. So it's a conveyor belt, isn't it?
It's even, so
we
like,
need our stars.
Well, like, you talk about
100%.
There was probably times back, like 20 or 30 years ago, where if a lad kind of had a job, or, you know, you talk about Larry Tompkins came back or played, or you know, that's going well back, but, like, Tony Griffin done it with Clare coming back, or if a lad kind of had work, or, you know, whatever, would you come back, or you man, what's the Dublin soccer player that came back and played for Dublin, Man United,
goalkeeper?
Kevin Moran.
No, Kevin Moran.
Kevin Moran, sorry.
But, like, I know that's going way back, but, like, you could probably get away, like, nowadays, if you said, oh, I'm gone for 3 weeks, or gone, like, oh no, you're gone, like, it's a decision. Like, I'm sure lads probably have to turn down promotions in work, or, you know, an opportunity to make more. Like, you wouldn't do it anyway, because you can't afford to be missing, because it's gone so
it is,
technical and high. You got to be around for training.
Absolutely. But sure, there's when Offaly won we're going well in the one or they stopped Kerry the 5 in a row. Was it Johnny Mooney, I think? You know, he was based in San Francisco. He just used to come home for the summer and train. They called him the Cisco Kid. So I just come home. Like, imagine you miss if you miss 3 or 4 sessions of the pre-season now, you'd be gone.
You'd be gone,
You know, so the whole thing has changed.
You wouldn't miss 5 or 6 sessions.
But they aren't they, like, inter-county, like, county boards and stuff are helping players a lot, though, in terms of, well, just from what I've heard, in terms of, let's say, I'm just talking from Dublin and Donegal in particular, with getting jobs and,
they would,
and a schedule and a route of actually
But I'd say a lot of the time it's a job that suits.
But it suits
around football.
It's based around making training and.
There would be. Like, if a young lad I know a young lad in Kildare, because it's all about, same with the club. If you were a young lad at home and he was, you know, he was after finishing and couldn't get a job, you'd be saying, okay, well, what do you know, what can you do? What are you doing? You'd be saying,
Yeah.
Let's give him a dig out.
It's
We
a
wanna keep
natural
him
actually
hot.
thing to happen.
It is to help. because
I'm
that's-
just saying at the very, very top.
It would be, yeah.
it would
It
be.
But the same way is that, well, okay, I'm in finance. Okay, well, just a man from Maynooth there. I'll give him a shout. Listen, we've a young lad here who's coming. If you hear that and going, and it's contact.
Yeah,
But that's the way it should be.
But that's nearly. Oh, do I look at it anyway? It's nearly like that. What the GAA stands for, that
Yeah,
whole community thing.
absolutely.
Everyone is trying to help each
Yeah,
other.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
In
No.
the best way possible.
Network wise.
Yeah.
But there's nobody who comes to you and says, here's a grand job, take that, there's a car in it, and she'll come in and do what you want whenever you want. That doesn't happen. I know the outside world will tell you
Yeah,
it does happen,
yeah,
but it
but
doesn't.
that doesn't happen.
You got to get up and you got to work, and I say certain jobs, you know, could lend you better to being an intercounty footballer than other jobs. Like today, I'd say if you did a survey of all the GA players hurling football at the top level that are block layers, you count them one handed.
No, I remember
you
one
can't
of
do
the
it.
lads
Can't
that
do it,
used to be, and he'd be like,
Yeah,
should be lifting
can't.
blocks all
Imagine
day
you-
coming in to train. Like, you have to own a gym session. Like,
That is the
Yeah,
gym
like-
session.
Yeah,
That's what I'd be saying.
but they're gone like
I've done the gyms there earlier.
very
that's-
few. There's very few doing physical labor because it doesn't allow for.
and there's probably so many different opportunities, young lads coming out now, but it's like with like it's broadened so much that it's not as much you work in your local area now. Now you see local people out and they're working anywhere in the country, or
yeah.
like even with a few lads on Clonmore or whatever, but they'll be going back and forward to England and say, I have to go over to England on Thursday. But like,
Yeah.
I'm sure if they went in and said to their boss, oh, I can't do that trip there, well, I'll get someone else.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
do you know, and that's the club, but like, it's definitely...
There's no doubt about it being in the GA, as Seán says. It's a family, and like if you go in and chat someone, you know, you meet someone on a plane going somewhere, you meet, where are you from? Oh, from Kildare. Oh, what part? Oh, what are you involved? Yeah, what's your club? Oh, yeah. And you're on a level straight away. Do you know what I mean? It always comes back to your county.
Yeah.
What club? Or I wouldn't know that club, or small club, or just Saturdays are going well, or whatever. You know, it always comes back to that, and that's contact.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah, I know. It opens up.
Absolutely
It's
does.
opened up. I know. For me, you know, I wasn't a name ratting, but for the amount of things that it opened up for you down,
you're only-
like, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
But it's just the demands have gone. They're always going up.
They
and
are.
It's hard on players. Like, and even the day of like Dan Flynn, we were saying, as retired, and like we're saying, Dan, what he could do things that there's not too many lads in the country could do, and some of the scores and play he had for Kildare, like, outstanding. And I think, Seán, you were asking for what age he is, 31. You said, geez, he might have a few more years, but like, it's very probably hard at an amateur level now to go on to 34, 35. Now you kind of see if a lad, you know, maybe starts a family, then you're really kind of, you know.
yeah, I think it
under
depends
pressure.
as well on the person and their circumstances. Like, you know, and there's a lot of talk about the demands on the players now, and there's a huge demand. There are different demands than there was when I started, but there was as many demands time wise. I mean, I remember the first year we went in, and when I went in on the January, we came back on the 1st of January and we trained, I think, 26 of the 31 days in January.
Right, okay.
Like, that wouldn't be done now.
Yeah.
And that was running in
26?
26
Of
of
31?
Yeah, and there was Boburn Cup in that, in the middle of it. You were getting ready for league, and like, there was no sign. It didn't matter. There was no counting what load, you know, the load or this and that. It was just, Micko was just, you get your pre-season done, stick at it, and if you got injured, it's no
Look.
good to me now.
Yeah.
You know, now you get, but like, you were only
Yeah.
good when you were on the field training. So, like, but my attitude was always towards it is, you know, and you sacrifice a certain amount, but the benefits are huge as well. For
Oh, yeah.
be able to play to be the best you can be at the highest level you can go. You know, I think that's what competitive sports people want to do. And like if we decide, yeah, you did sacrifice, and your family sacrificed, and your partner or your wife sacrificed, but like, if there's a stag next weekend, I can go on it. If I want to go on holidays in May, I can go. I can't play for Kildare again. I had that window of opportunity. I was lucky to get, don't get me wrong. So all the other things that I missed, I can do now.
Yeah.
So I think that's what my conversation for the young lads is: be the best you can be when you have that window. And if Do you know?
It is.
I think for me,
it's not getting away from that either. Do you know? It's probably more. I'm saying looking after the players that are in there, as I said.
Absolutely, and it should be looked after.
And it is like, I'm not. I say it's not saying paying players, but like just a bit of, that they're not in a position where
slipping them a few bob every now and again.
Yeah, but if it's the GPA, like they're dead right. Like they're not looking for a huge amount in pushing that. As you say, it has moved into a business like Crow Park shoulder books. They're bringing in money. Like that's so.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, the assets and the components of making a very strong business. So, and the GA will go on record and they'll show the facts are there that a lot of the money they make goes back into grassroots.
Yeah.
And that's brilliant, and we all want that.
Yeah.
But the other side of it is, without the players playing at the top level, that money's not available to go back into there. And you have to look after the top players.
Yeah, they're the boys.
Yeah.
They're the ones putting
They're
on
the ones promoting the game the most.
Exactly.
Call player and doing it for free.
No.
Yeah, and just I suppose moving on from that to the GA rules, there was a survey done during the week. 94% of inter-county players said that they enjoyed the rules. 57% said that they feel that it is more physical load and increased, and it probably has gone faster. 39% said the mental load has increased, and then 12% said they find that balance in life, work and family commitments is all just as well another kind of thing that they found maybe more, because maybe there's more demands on training or gym or getting around. But anyways, I was kind of the main reason bringing it up is the GA rules, and we won't talk about it for too long as we spoke about it before, but after the summer, like there's a lot of talk about it after the inter-county games, but it is different also in club games, and we're actually probably seeing more in club games because we're getting back into September. Now there's starting to be a wind and and a half, and we're talking about Sarsfields last week went 12 or 13 pints down, and the wind was a huge factor in 2-pointers getting back into the game. What is there one that you really like and one that you really don't like?
Well, I do like the tap and go. I think that speeds up the game. It stops if a referee gives a decision that we don't, because 9 times out of 10 we don't agree with the referee, but it's tap and go is gone and it's moved on, and by the time the ball's out played, they forgot what the free was anyway. Do you know? I do like that. The 2-pointer, I think, is from an entertainment point, I think it's very good. For a team that's, you say, 12 points down against the big team, you know, and it just gives them the opportunity to get back into the game. I'm not really sure on that, but from sitting at home on the couch watching it, it's great. You know, there's kick the 2-point. Next thing, it's game on again. The game is competitive for a lot longer, and I suppose that's what we wanted. We want the games to be competitive, and I think certainly, as I would agree, it's a much more positive spectacle, and particularly at the highest level. Like you looked at this summer, it was some great football.
The product is way better.
It is way better. It is way better. And particularly, like, it used to drive me mad watching that, and maybe watching the Sunday game or the analysts, and like they talk football down, and it's dreary. And maybe the match was dreary, but like, let's analyse what you're seeing, maybe why they're going to. And the complete opposite for the hurlers. They were talking about this, and hurling's a brilliant game, and it's wrong to compare the two of them, but the hurling analysts used to, it was a mythical, this was played by our forefather, and they'd sell a brilliant game, which added to the whole game. Yeah. Where now we're gone away from that negative talk even about it. You meet, that was a great game. Like we just mentioned, Johnstown and Sarsfields, like we're 2 weeks later. Yeah. If that was last year, it'd be, keep ball, keep ball, don't let them in. So the game has got much better. There's no doubt about it.
Do you know what I was thinking about? I was like, I'd say if you said it in the dressing room, I'd be mad. But I've seen it. Do you know the way with the 2-pointers? If you get a hand on it, it's only one. And I seen a free been taken the other day. There was a team, and it was just, I'd say, like it was just inside your man's range. It was about 40, just outside the 45, and it was a 2-pointer to win the game. But if you were organised and you're ready, right, is there anything to stop you doing like the rugby?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I often thought that myself.
Fun fee.
Or if some lad, got down the ground and you use it nearly as a stool to go up and jump on his back and tap it away or tap it.
Like your man, something that imagine. I'd say what you said in the dressing room, lads might look at you with two heads.
No, but
there was
a line out.
There was a kick to win it, and they were point down, and it was a 2-pointer. It was a 45% chance to win it, and your man reached up as far as he could on the line, and it just over his hand. And I was thinking, wonder because I thought about before, is Ratton to stop two lads lifting him up, catching that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's a rule there somewhere. I don't know. Yeah. But I'd say 90% of referees wouldn't know what to do either.
Wouldn't know what to do.
No, to be fair, like
I can't see that.
South Africa done a maul there in the last couple of games out the field in general play.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
I did see that. Yeah, it was the weirdest thing ever.
Well, done well off one of them, but they done it against the All Blacks 2 weeks ago and they fucked it up.
Right.
But like,
what was your thoughts of it?
I was like, what is the point in doing that there?
Yeah,
like,
I thought, I don't know.
If you done it 3 meters out from the try line, it's actually probably a better idea because it's, you know what I mean, if you get them all up in the air, you can't sack it. So it's just a pushing contest then.
All right, okay.
So there's ways of manipulating it, but I actually they're taking initiative, obviously. You know, they're trying to develop different ideas. Yeah. So maybe there is some way in football for that as well, but I don't know, it'd be kind of cool, I think, if you had what Johnny said there about nearly like that AFL style where you propel yourself off his back with your knee even if you had a call like a lad in the middle or some keeper in the middle or something,
or some lad had his hand get down,
jump down, get down there, I'm going to put my studs in your back.
No, but even if you went like this, you know, and got him up like a bit of a hoosh,
or even if it's say here, look, if it's going over,
here's one next year for you now, try that. You're still managing.
If you played in the goals, Podge, let's sort all that out. 6'4", just
up the pot.
No bother.
But I certainly think. Look, I think the GA, you know, and some of the rules when they come out first, how are they going to police them out? But some of them police themselves as well. And the three up have got teams over the line and destroyed championships for other teams. And you just have to accept as one of the rules now, you know.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mind when their team does.
The mental load is big, isn't it?
Yeah,
but I think that has to do with what we just spoke about. New type of game, new rules. If you even at club level here in Carlow, let's say, the amount of people saying, "Sure, how are we going to get our heads around all this?" Or, you know what I mean? Because it's just a thought process. They actually had to learn. Had to learn something, and that's what their heads was so scrambled about. Like
we were playing I think it was our second league game, and Billy won't maybe said it because he was playing with plays rugby with Tullow, and he came back into the team anyway. Next thing, so teams are back 2 months maybe, whatever, and keeper takes short kick out, and Billy runs in and collects it outside the small D and goes, and referee gives a free, and Billy said, "Sure, what? I was outside the D," and the referee's like, "Yeah, but you have to be outside the arc." So I said they're thinking that we don't have a clue the rules at all. But I'd say to the lads anyway at that time, I was like, just watch games. Watch football. Like,
do you know the one that I can't get my head around from the hooter? I just can't get my head. If you're bringing in the rule of the hooter in a competition, it should be in for every game of that competition. Like,
we got the other day, there was confusion. So one of our lads went through the middle and he was inside the 21, and your man, rightly so, probably came across and cleaned him because we were wrong side of him through. He didn't get a yellow card or a black card, but cleaned him. And I said to the linesman, I said, "That a penalty?" I said, "If we're cleaned inside the 21, it's a penalty." And he said, "No, that's only an inter-county."
Yeah.
And I said, "Look, all right." I said, "Not going to argue." I said, "I've seen it happening in a county game."
But like you could,
so what's the difference? Why would you have a different rule?
Why would you have a different rule?
But like you could,
or maybe it isn't a different rule, and he was telling me lies. I don't know.
But you could play a game at inter-county level where there's no hooter, and the referee decides to play 7-8 minutes over, and you're bet by a point. And if it was next week, there's a hooter involved, and you win the match. Like, I understand why it mightn't work for club level because the referee's there on his own, and there's, you know,
I don't.
But they need to be in every single.
They're talking about changing it now that when the hooter goes, that's the end of the match. But I don't know.
That probably takes from the entertainment as well. A little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard. We'll never get it right.
It's hard.
But I think we're going the right direction anyway. After all that.
No, definitely. We'll have a quick look at the championship semi-finals this week. Selbridge and Naas. Who do you fancy?
You'd have to fancy Naas from what I've seen so far. Selbridge will be thereabouts. Still think, you know, they've some really good players when you go through the team. They're all
on paper.
huge. But it's that inconsistency is probably still there and like I looked at Naas and I did the call comments and Naas and Clane, and like Naas just whenever they need to step it up, they just push
had another gear.
Just like they didn't even hit top gear, like, and they're bringing on lads that are as good as, if not better than the lads going off.
They're seriously stacked.
Now the weather, you know, you just don't know. It levels the playing field a little bit. And look, I still think Naas will get to a final. From what I've seen so far, but look at
they're too good. They're actually too good semi-finals. That game's on TNG.
It's meant to be a rough weekend, isn't it?
It is very, it is rough. That could have a bit.
Yeah, it could. Was Sash and a tie in the other one.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. You're sort of saying on form, maybe Sarsfield's is. Look at you've seen a tie against Selbridge, and you think they look very average, and then they go against Johnstown Bridge, and they were 20 points up at half time, and then thinking, okay, they'll be way too strong for Cara, and Cara could have beaten them. I was at that match as well. Cara could have beaten them. They just physically they were a little bit stronger, and they got so where are a tie at?
I actually think a tie. No, I'm usually wrong. I think a tie could beat Sarsfields, but there should be two good semi-finals. Good to see one on TNG and the other one live on Clubber. As you say, you're doing Clubber this weekend?
Clubber at a tie in.
You're doing it? Good stuff. Then I'm at Salons and
Mixer.
Oh,
two Nixers.
Two Nixers.
Face for radio pod.
Quickly, Salons Milltown. Hard to see past Salons.
It is hard to see, but Milltown are not too bad either, and they're quietly.
Yeah, they are. Someone's going to
chatting them around our end of the parish now, and they'll be, we'll have a go anyway. We'll have a go.
We're playing them next year. Larry's 2 Mile House. I think
House are coming well.
Yeah, they are. No, in fairness, 2 Mile House. They're in a relegation final last year. Looked like I seen them against Suncroft. They were awful. Suncroft bet the shite out of them down in St. Lawrence's in the last group game, and I said, "Jeez, I thought 2 Mile House were going down." And then this year they've
to get in a few lads
together.
Back.
Obviously Larry's beat them early on, and it was kind of a game of two halves. But 2 Mile House are on a.
I'd say there won't be too much in a Podge.
No, I don't think there will be too much in it. I think,
and
I don't think Larry's would want to underestimate 2 Mile House.
I don't think they will, though. I don't think
I don't think Noel would. You know, it's important the
no.
players don't, because they did go easily well ahead the last day. But
I think they're getting and they're physically strong. 2 Mile House around, if a few athletes around them, I think it'll be tight.
It should be a good game. We'll go for Larry's to edge it. And then last one, then Grange player at Coffee. Grange surely get the job done. They've looked very, very strong in that junior,
but you never know either. Like
you never know.
You were saying that last couple of years, and I saw at Coffee against Robertstown. It was 10 goals in it. But it was a great game. And like
I actually seen both. I done Clubber for the Rathcoffey and the Grange semi-finals, and Rathcoffey have a few players that can threaten. Grange were actually probably didn't play well at all, and still were comfortable over at Garvin. But interesting weekend of games, lads. No pod next week. An interview. We're going
up to the big smoke.
Going up to the big smoke, so we'll have that released during the week. Where you are heading, so enjoy that. And and lastly, I'll give a shout out, happy birthday there to our producer and editor Laura.
Happy birthday, Laura.
Is 23 today, so I'd say she was cursing us there last week when I think she was up at 2 or 3 in the morning trying to edit this to get out for Friday morning, so fair play to her. But lads, thanks a million. So you can download our podcast wherever you get your podcast, will be there. This is All About the Game podcast, episode number 26, in association with Clinched. Lads, thanks a million, and we'll chat to you in 2 weeks' time.
Cheers, Podge.
Thanks.